Hey everybody, this is Andy from Tecnifirbre, and today a slightly different video for you. Some brief thoughts on the Tfight 300 RS and also a run through on the process of how I customise this racket up to a 320 swing weight for a player who uses this racket. The player is an ideal example of who this racket is greatly suited to. They are an up-and-coming, very advanced junior player. They want the racket to grow with them. They need a bit more stability and plow out of it. It's very light in stock form at 300 grams. It's a 98 square inch head and it has a 16 by 19 pattern. But I actually think it's quite an interesting stick because it has a lower stiffness rating compared to its bigger brother, the more sort of favoured, I guess, 305 RS, which has the 18 by 19 string pattern, and you get loads and loads of whip and I think a better feel out of this. And certainly if you go back through the lines of the Tfights, they used to have great control and lovely feel. So I think this is quite a good option also for people who want to move away from spin orientated rackets but they want to retain some whip and spin with more control. So how to customize it to 320? First of all, you obviously need to know what the swing weight is, and I always have blue tack at hand. This is 305 circa in its swing weight, and I have pre-made balls of 2.5 grams of blue tack ready-made. So I wanted to start with playing around with placement of 5 grams. I started with 3 and 9, and I tend to find that you get a 10-point uplift in swing weight with that placement. So I wanted to check that. That was pretty much the case. Wanted to see what would happen if I placed roughly at 10 and 2. Usually I find you get about a 15-point increase, and that again was about the case. But of course here we're looking to increase stability as well as plow. So try to move that weight around between sort of 3 and 9 and 10 and 2, and we've got roughly the desired effect there. So going with 6 grams to try and get to that 320, cut equal strips and put 3 grams either side, starting at 3 and 9, going round to 10 and 2. Tried to make as neat a job as possible. Obviously wore gloves, you don't want to be touching a lot of lead, and very happy to say that came out spot on at 320. Couldn't resist, had a quick set with the racket, and I have to say it does greatly improve it. You do have a nice feel to this racket. Twist weight, stability, plow was all really improved by that customization, which isn't very difficult. So I think that makes the 300 RS a really interesting option potentially for people. Hope that was of interest, both in terms of the 300 RS as something you might not have thought about before, but also as a process of customizing. I think that blue tack is really handy. It means you can play around with things before you go about cutting lead, and you want to be handling lead as little as possible, wash your hands, wear gloves, etc. If it was useful, sort of shorter video, drop it a like. Loads of white rackets being reviewed at the moment. The Tecnifibre 305 TF40 16 by 19 is the current adopted racket, so review on that coming soon. See you in the next one.